guy either going out there in a truck or a jeep racing out to the site and seeing one of these creatures kind of in the road and just sort of driving straight through it and going through him as he, you know, straight through the hood and through the seat and then out the back, I guess, which kind of freaked him out, as you probably imagine. But they seemed intelligent. You know, they didn't seem like a projection or a hologram or anything like that. They seemed alive. You know, I have no way to explain that beyond that. And granted, this gets into, you know, controversial areas. If you look at like Whitley Strieber's work, Strieber doesn't believe, you know, that it's just nuts and bolts aliens coming to the Earth. You know, he kind of takes the view that these things have an understanding of life after death, you know, and they can kind of maneuver between, you know, if you believe all this, between like physical bodies and kind of like the soul. And, you know, he kind of views that the idea that they view the human body or their bodies as kind of just like a container for the intelligence, you know, and that the soul is something that can be explained by science, and you could actually thought you could leave your physical body and jump from one to another, you know.
Is that why we can get pictures of them with infrared or different settings? We can't see it with the physical eye, but frequently can get pictures of them?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's difficult really to know, but there are a lot of stories on record, particularly things like abductions, where somebody has said, you know, the aliens came through the wall, you know, things like that. It's not, you know, it's not like somebody hears the door. I'm not being sarcastic here, but you know, there aren't reports of people hearing the front doorbell ringing and they open the front door and the aliens walk in and abduct them. It doesn't happen like that. The aliens appear in the bedroom and there's no evidence, you know, that the doors are still locked, the chains are on. So that suggests a kind of a similar thing where they can, you know, who knows? I mean, you know, we're all just, everything's made up of atoms, you know, and you sort of reconfigure atoms and take them apart. You know, it's like water. Water's made of atoms, but you pour a glass of water onto a small piece of wood, it'll soak through. It'll come out the other side. But it's, you know, the only difference between, you know, if I do that, you know, that's solid. Water isn't, but it's both atoms. You know, maybe there's an angle to it like that, that they have the ability to manipulate matter. You know, who knows? Maybe it's a defensive thing. You know, if you can manipulate matter, you're not going to be shot. You know, imagine if you could literally make yourself impervious to a bullet not because you're indestructible, but you actually alter the atomic makeup of the atoms. You know, and the extent to which they're kind of bonded together. So. Yeah.
This is really related to UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard anything or know anything about the shutting down of Plum Island off the coast of New York and moving it to the heartland of Kansas?
I've heard rumours, but the only thing I really know about the Plum Island thing, is what's on the internet. I don't know anything at all that sort of adds to the stories that you can find already online. So.
Can you repeat that question?
Oh yeah, it was about Plum Island in New York, where again it's been alleged, you know, there's this sort of strange classified activity going on, and the possibility of stuff being sort of transferred elsewhere, maybe to Canada and other locations. But other than knowing the story, I don't know anything sort of new or have any, you know, breaking information at all now.
All right. Well, Nick will be with us during dinner, and if any of you have not ordered yet, please stick around. And let's give Nick a round of applause for his.
Thanks.